going on, everybody? Happy Sunday, and welcome to a middle of the playoffs edition of Flames Nation Live. It's Pat Steinberg along with you from Flames Talk and Sportsnet 960 The Fan and FlamesNation.ca. Woof! All of a sudden, gut check time for the Calgary Flames. Who do we have in with us on Flames Nation Live on this Sunday? Gorav first in. Also, Mike, Josh, Dallas. Linda says, come on, boys, you got this. We got another Josh. We got Sam and Damien all in with us. Start getting your comments. Start getting your questions in as we get you going on Flames Nation Live on this Sunday. Flames Nation Live brought to you, as always, by our friends at DoorDash. Go download the app and create the account. DoorDash yourself some lunch or some dinner or however you're feeling this week. Flames Nation Live brought to you, as always, by our friends at DoorDash. So here's what we're talking about. 4-2 ends up being the final score. Flames lose Game 3 of this best-of-7 to the Dallas Stars and trail for the first time in this series 2-1 with Game 4 on Monday night again in Dallas. And look, I'm not always one for hyperbole. I'm not always one that is going to sit here and build things up more than they are, but just knowing the way series go when teams trail 3-1, and just knowing where this situation is going for the Calgary Flames after this season, knowing all that looms this offseason, I think Game 4 of this series is one of the most significant games the Calgary Flames have played as an organization in, I don't know, decades. Because think about it. This series, if the Flames don't get out of this series and Dallas finds a way to win, well, first of all, it spoils what has been one of the greatest regular seasons in franchise history. And knowing that Johnny Gaudreau is an unrestricted free agent, and knowing that Matthew Tkachuk is a restricted free agent, and knowing how playoff success could or could not incentivize any one of those or either one of those guys to sign here long term, and knowing how the cap is changing next year and how the roster is going to have to change next year regardless, this ends up being one of the most significant playoffs that this organization has had in a long time. And now, facing the specter of falling down 3-1, this becomes one of the biggest games. Well, this is the biggest game of the series without question. And now you're talking about how big this game might be for the future of the organization. An absolutely massive Game 4 on Monday. Now, we'll get to some questions and some comments in just a second as they start rolling in. I don't think it all has to be doom and gloom here. I don't, because I think that we are talking about a team that has gotten their opportunities. We're talking about a team that has played some decent hockey at times. However, pucks aren't going in. They have been a little bit too loose themselves defensively. Here's head coach Daryl Sutter. He spoke on this off day Sunday in Dallas, and, he's not panicking. He just thinks a couple of things have got to be tweaked, and the Flames will be okay. Head coach Daryl Sutter feeling pretty confident.
Like, is it just gripping it a little too tight?
No, we're not gripping it too tight at all. I think, quite honest, our guys, they're in a good place. You know what, we think we're doing a lot of things we've done all year, just we're not getting the results. So, but in a series, you got to get results, or you run out of real estate. So, we've even you go last night, they score a power play goal and a 4-on-4 goal, and that's the difference. So, it's a fine line, and ultimately, everybody always wants to talk then about your goal scorers, and that's fine, but it's got to be through your lineup. It just can't be on one player, that's for sure.
So one of the things about having that man behind the bench is that he's seen adversity before, and he's been in spots before where his teams have been down. He's coached a team that was down 3-0 in a best-of-7 with San Jose and came back to win. And I'm not saying that, any of these things are going to happen or things are going to transpire exactly the same way. The point is that with that head coach, I think that you can be confident that he's going to have the group as prepared as he can be. And I think with this group and some of the veterans they have, this is truly when all of these things that we've been talking about all year long, all of these things that we've been talking about when it comes to how important guys like Trevor Lewis and Milan Lucic and Tyler Toffoli and Kalle Yarncroke and Blake Coleman are going to be on this team. This is when it needs to come to fruition. And all that talk about how we feel that maybe this Flames team is more equipped to handle the playoffs this year than in years past with this core. Now it's got to come to fruition. It truly is put up, shut up. It truly is put your money where your mouth is, all that type of stuff. That's now. And let's see what they got. Let's see if they, because here's what I'll say before we jump in on the comments and the questions. We've got lots of them. Here's what I'll say. If the Flames gut it out, put together a really good game 4, win game 4, and that ends up being like, and they can hang their hat on how well they played in game 4. If that ends up happening, then I think the Flames have got a great chance of winning this series. I do. I think if they win game 4, they're in the driver's seat. Obviously, if they don't win game 4, they're in dire straits. But I look at game 4 of this series as a true opportunity for this team to do something. I look at game 4 as a true opportunity for them to change the narrative a little bit, but they got to do it. And, the top line cannot be as bad defensively as it was in game 3. They got outchanced at high danger 7-2 at 5-on-5 or 7-1 at 5-on-5. So you can't have that stuff happening. Top pairing needs to be better. Top line needs to be better. Middle six needs to contribute. There's a lot of things that need to happen. But Flames have got this opportunity to change the narrative a little bit if they come out with a good effort, if they come out and play that way in game 4 on Monday night. And we'll see if they can do it. Pretty crucial, though. I know that much. Okay, as you continue on watching the playoffs, hit the showers with this all-in-one skin and hair care kit that covers you from head to toe, thanks to our friends at Manscaped. Manscaped is trusted below the waist. Now trust them with the rest. Join the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with the code FLAMES. Once again, go to manscaped.com and use the promo code FLAMES for 20% off and free shipping. This portion of Flames Nation Live brought to you by our friends at Manscaped. Okay, let's jump in and get some thoughts on the live chat because there are a lot of questions to get to. Let's go all the way to the top. Sam says, do the Flames make any lineup changes for tomorrow night's game? I don't know. I'm curious. There's some interesting questions or interesting suggestions that have been thrown out there. Maybe they go and think about bringing in Michael Stone. Maybe they decide to make a change on the back. I don't think they make any changes necessarily personnel-wise in terms of in and out at forward, but maybe we see the lines slightly tweaked. That's going to be very interesting going in. Scott says, how would you feel about seeing Stone in the next game? It'd be interesting. The only problem is, one game, I guess, but you're not taking out any of your right shots. Anderson's staying in, Goodbranson's staying in, Tanev is staying in, so you would be playing Stone on his offside. That being said, I'd be interested by it. I am curious if they make any changes on the back. This says, Gorav, the Blues and Bruins have tied their series today. Flames are next, fingers crossed. And look, 2-1 is not a death knell in a series. It is not the be-all and end-all. But the Flames have got to go out and actually put together a really good effort, a 60-minute effort. Mike asking about whether or not the Flames juggle up the lines as well. I could see it. Here's an important one from Chris. Can Matthew Tkachuk actually start playing hockey instead of just trying to be a goon? He's not helping the team in any way with this mentality. And I think what the Flames need more than anything else right now is the Matthew Tkachuk they had during the regular season. They need 100-point Matthew Tkachuk. They need the Matthew Tkachuk that was one of the most dynamic offensive players in the NHL during the regular season. They need Matthew Tkachuk to be an impact maker between the whistles, not after the whistle. They need Matthew Tkachuk to be the guy that can control a hockey game and the guy that can dominate a shift. And they got that a lot in game 1 of this series. They haven't gotten that much at all since game 1. And now as they go into an absolutely massive swing game on Monday, that's the type of effort they need from Matthew and that top line. No doubt about it. And we'll see if Matthew can be one of the guys on this team that answers the bell. This says the Flames need to change their zone exit plan. Too much pressure on their D, and the long pass doesn't work. That to me just comes down to execution. They've got zone exits that work. They're not executing right now. Scott says not enough traffic in front of Ottinger. He gets panicky with traffic in front of him. I thought they just started to do a better job of that in Game 3 as the game went along. But yes, that's one of the main takeaways for me so far is that the Flames have not made life difficult enough on Ottinger. And that's not taking a single shred of credit away from Dallas's goaltender because he has been great and he deserves all the credit that he's gotten to this point. However, the Flames still can do a better job of making life difficult on him because the more difficult they make it on him, the better chance they have of actually, starting to put some meaningful ones behind him. Joey says, it's the Pavelski show like always, who always destroys the Flames. Why aren't the Flames targeting Pavelski? He's a tougher guy to target. It's like Johnny's a tougher guy to target. Those smaller, shiftier guys can be a little bit more difficult to go after as opposed to other guys. That being said, absolutely, Pavelski's been great so far in this series. Brad says Tkachuk needs to stop fighting and start playing. Josh, Flames have been brutal with taking stupid penalties. 4-on-4 is just as advantageous to Dallas as it is for Calgary. Chucky's no good in the box, and that to me is a huge part of it too, is that Matthew Tkachuk being in the penalty box doesn't really, who does that help? That doesn't help anybody. The Dallas Stars will take that all day, every day. They'll take Matthew Tkachuk in the penalty box for 2 minutes at a time, all day, every day. That means they got to take Klingberg or whoever else. Yeah, the Stars will take that trade-off. So that is why Matthew needs to really focus on just being who he was in the regular season and being the guy that he can be that can dominate a hockey game. Dallas says they need to put Ruzicka and Carpenter in for Lewis and Ritchie. And this, I don't agree. Lewis and Ritchie have been some of the better players so far in this series. I mean, like, for their role, what has Trevor Lewis done? Lewis has one of their 3 goals in the series. He's been just fine when it comes to his role as number 4 center. Lewis does not deserve to come out. Ritchie does not deserve to come out. I don't think that Carpenter and Ruzicka are swinging this series in any way, shape, or form. Fourth line has been the least of Calgary's issues. They need their better guys to start stepping up. They need the middle set, like Toffoli and Coleman and Backlund and Yarncroke. Those middle 6 guys have got to start pulling a little bit more weight on the blue line. Tanev, Anderson, Hanifin, since game 1, have all been way, way less effective than we know they can be. And those are their 3 best defensemen. They need those 3 defensemen to be their 3 best defensemen. So to me, it's not about the little tweak lineup changes. It's not bringing in a platoon player, a guy, a 13th or 14th forward. To me, that doesn't swing anything at all. And also the guys that you'd be taking out don't deserve to come out. They've been pretty good. JF says the 4th line's been one of, if not their best lines so far this series, and I can get behind that. Like, in terms of what they do with their minutes and their role, yeah, I think they've done a really good job of doing that. So that's a trio that I think you want to keep together. Sam says 3 things the Flames need to do to win tomorrow: score first, play better defensively, and score greasy goals. And you take a look at the goal that Lewis scored. That's really the only quote-unquote greasy goal they've scored in this series. Get into the traffic areas. Lindholm's 2 goals have come on good passing plays and utilizing his lethal shot. But, yeah, the Lewis goal was an actual playoff-type goal, and more like that, the better for Calgary in Game 4 and beyond. Kyle says Dallas making each game a coin flip has definitely benefited them. No doubt about it, but I'll say this much about Dallas. Since Game 1, they have engaged so much more effectively physically. Who's been the more physical team the last 2 games? Calgary blew Dallas out of the water in that regard in Game 1. Games 2 and 3, Dallas has been pushing the pace, and they're wearing guys down. Like, they have targeted Chris Tanev the last 6 periods relentlessly, and you can tell that Tanev is feeling it. And they've gone after Matthew Tkachuk. They've gone after some of Calgary's guys. Rasmus Anderson has taken a lot of punishment. So Calgary needs to push back physically because they did a really good job of that in game one. Since that point, Dallas has been the aggressor in that regard. Josh says Ottinger's a future star goalie, but he's given up big rebounds. One guy in front is not enough to collect those big rebounds. Agreed. From Chris, need to clear the front of the net. Most of their goals are coming off the slot, tips, and rebounds. Yeah, I mean, Pavelski's 3 goals have all come within like 3 feet of Jacob Markstrom, a redirect, and then 2 rebounds last night. The Faxa goal, that was also a redirect. Those are the 4 goals that have been scored that have not been scored into an empty net? Yeah, they've got 2 empty net goals. Pavelski has 3 of their 4 non-empty net goals, and they've all been between you and me. And Fox's goal is a tip, so absolutely. JF says they've doubled us on hits the last 2 games. Exactly. Mike says Ben has a target on his back now with his slew foot on Tanev and poke on Mangiapane. We'll see how that plays into the game plan and see if that factors into Monday's game, because I think that the Tanev situation, that was borderline dangerous. Good to see that everything's okay with Chris. And then the high stick, which you got fined for on this Sunday. Yeah, maybe Jamie Benn is a guy that's in the crosshairs on Monday night in Game 4. Gorov says people always underestimate Dallas. This team took the Blues to Game 7, beat Calgary, Vegas, and Colorado on the way to the finals. And that is a fair point. Like, let's not forget that the other team deserves some credit in this regard as well. Stars have been good in this series. Stars deserve to be up 2-1, but we also know the Flames are capable of playing better than they have to this point, and that's what they got to start to do. So Stars deserve 100%, or 100%, the Stars deserve lots of credit for what they've been able to do so far. However, Flames still got to be better and are capable of being better. Hey, you still have time, and hopefully this playoff series is not a short one. Hopefully we're talking 6-7 games here, and hopefully we're talking about a long Flames playoff run. Regardless, there's still at least 2 games left in this series. You still have a chance to go download the official Calgary Flames keyboard on Google Play or the App Store. Just go type in Calgary Flames keyboard. It's from our friends at Keymoji. It's great for your social media. It's great for your group chats. It's great for texting, whatever the case may be. Go download that official Calgary Flames keyboard, thanks to our friends at Keymoji. Once again, available on the App Store or on Google Play. Just a few more on the live chat before we wrap up on this Sunday. Stahl says, shoot the puck more and hit the net. Stop being fancy. They absolutely have to do a better job bearing down on their opportunity. Johnny Gaudreau's got to bury on that opportunity in the third period. Down a goal, third period, you got to bury that. And there's been a few chances in key parts of games where pucks have gone high or pucks have gone wide or Jake Ottinger's been able to make a stop. And I'm not saying don't credit Jake Ottinger, but as Daryl Sutter said post-game on Saturday night, their job is to bury. Their job is to finish those, and that's what they get paid for. So, and I'm not putting it just on Johnny, by the way. Toffoli, Coleman, Tkachuk, there's been opportunities. They got to start burying them, and they got to start burying them starting on Monday night. Aaron wonders about the $5,000 suspension to Jamie Benn. Personally, she says I think he should have also had a game suspension. Tough to get a 1-game suspension for a high stick. That's what he got fined for. So you don't usually see suspensions for high sticks, and especially in the postseason. But I do wonder, to the earlier comment about Jamie Benn, whether or not there's going to be a target on his back in Game 4, and if the Flames, look to make sure they really finish their checks on Jamie Benn in Game 4 and beyond in this series. Like, obviously, don't go out of your way, don't do anything stupid, but does that end up playing into the game plan when it's all said and done? Great stuff on the live chat, as always, friends. And as always, Flames Nation Live is brought to you by our friends at DoorDash. Go download the app and create the account. Get yourself some DoorDash on Monday for dinner. And DoorDash brings you Flames Nation Live each and every time we do it. My show, Flames Talk, on Sportsnet 960. The Fan goes 4 o'clock on Monday ahead of Game 4 of this series. So come join us live on Sportsnet 960 The Fan, or get us Apple, Spotify, Google, Amazon, or wherever you get your podcasts. Go download Flames Talk. Come along with us as we continue along through this Calgary Flames 2022 postseason. Great stuff, everybody. Thank you very much for all your questions. We'll do another edition of Flames Nation Live sometime early next week. They play Monday and Wednesday, so we'll try to hit you on Tuesday is the next time we'll try and do one of these. Be well. Have a great rest of your Sunday. Enjoy Game 4. We'll see how things look on Tuesday when we reconvene on Flames Nation Live, brought to you by DoorDash. Stay safe. Be kind to one another. Have yourself a wonderful rest of your weekend. My name's Pat. It's been Flames Nation Live, brought to you by our friends at DoorDash.